Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money with your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 542 of Screw the Commute podcast. I'm here with Cathy Nesbitt, and I swear to you, you have never been on a podcast or heard a recording when someone on their website has the following statement. As a result of COVID, we cannot offer our normal guaranteed live worm delivery. I guarantee you've never heard that anywhere. Wait till you hear all the stuff this lady's into. She is awesome. All right. Now, there's a whole series of ones. Just episode 541 just came out with Angela Olfest. She is a voiceover artist that's done over 90 audiobooks and commercials and learning things for big companies and just all kinds of stuff. So she talks about the voiceover business. And audiobooks, I have a series, 535, 536, and 537 is my journey into the audiobook arena. And I finished my first one over the holidays, and it's in Audible now for review and should be live in a few weeks, we hope. So check out all those back episodes. Anytime you want to go to a back episode, you go to screwthecommute.com/ and then the episode number. If you're interested in audiobooks, 535, 536, 537, and 541. And on 536, I actually give you the intro and first two chapters of the one that I just sent up to Audible. So you get those for free. That was my practice session. All right. Grab a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. This book has helped me handle up to 150,000 subscribers and 65,000 customers without pulling my hair out. And you can get a copy for free where we charge $27 on the website for it. You can get your copy at screwthecommute.com/automate free, and you will thank me because it'll save you tons and tons of time and let you reach way more people than you can now most of the stuff is either free or super cheap. So, that's the way I roll. Now, while you're at it, pick up a copy of our podcast app at screwthecommute.com/app. That's APP, and you can put us on your cell phone and tablet and take us with you on the road. Now, we're in the middle and still going strong with our pilot program to help persons with disabilities get scholarships to the Internet and Digital Marketing School, my school. And we've got a GoFundMe campaign set up. And any little bit you can throw in there helps. We're putting a lot of time into these folks, and they're very inspirational. Two of them are blind, and they're making videos. You can actually see their update videos on GoFundMe. So go to imtcva.org, Internet Marketing Training Center, Virginia, imtcva.org/disabilities. And you can see, click on the GoFundMe thing, and you can see their progress. And I'm really proud of this program because once I prove that I can get them hired and get their own business or both, then I took a grant writing course. I'm going to roll it out really big to corporations and foundations and help lots and lots of people. So that's something I'm really excited about. All right, let's get to the main event. Cathy Nesbitt is a health and wellness advocate, founder of Cathy's Crawly Composters around 2002, Cathy's Sprouters, and Cathy's Laughter Club. She's a multi-award-winning environmental innovator who uses workshops and inspirational speaking to motivate people to live a more sustainable life. Cathy is a certified laughter yoga teacher. Cathy, are you ready to screw?
You know I am, Tom.
Oh boy. Well, I don't know if you're the worm lady, the sprout lady. What, do you have any nicknames?
Yeah, my working title is Cathy Crawly, Laughing Bean Queen.
Laughing Bean Queen. Well, when I saw that laughter yoga, I was thinking, I could do that. I'd just go in and do any yoga class and everybody would start laughing. Which is absolutely true. So So you're making a living doing all kinds of fun stuff that's good for the world. And so tell us what you're into.
So yes, it started actually with my worm gig was my main well,
My worm gig. That's enough
so
to make you laugh right there.
well, yeah, this all of my things go together.
Wait, how long are these worms?
They're teeny worms. Actually, they're cute little worms.
So size doesn't matter on the worm world?
They're full of love. They have 5 hearts each.
Oh man. I saw you selling a half a pound for $65 and a pound for $100 of worms. I remember when I was a kid. See, I hate fishing, and I tried it one time, and they were selling worms for like a nickel a piece. But these were big old worms to go fishing with. But that's my extent of experience with worms. I'm kind of disappointed that you can't deliver them live all the time. What do people do if they get a bunch of dead worms?
Actually, we don't ship to places where we can't ship them at this time, especially with winter. Yeah, winter and then supply chain management.
Wouldn't they still be good? You mean there's worms stuck out at the port of Los Angeles, just waiting to get into the port? Wouldn't the worms still be good for the soil, even if they were dead?
Well, they're the ones that convert the food scraps and paper. So they're actually, you need them alive. They're converting. It's done inside. So worms in the house, who doesn't want that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about that over Christmas, hoping somebody give me some, but nobody did.
Right. Well, Valentine's Day is coming up, and they have 5 hearts each. It's a great gift.
Yeah.
Just know the receiver.
So how did you get started with this?
So I believe it was why I was put on earth. I grew up
to sell worms. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, no, you don't hear that often,
You don't, right? I mean, you haven't met anybody else like me before. That's for sure. So I was I'm close to Toronto, largest city in Canada, 6 million people, and in 2002 our landfill closed, and we started exporting garbage to the U.S.
We're kind of used to that. People sending us a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a business arrangement.
Of course.
We paid a lot of money for the privilege.
Where'd you send it?
To Michigan.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Michigan is the trash capital.
Yeah. we only have trash in our legislature. So
I think that's universal, I think. But that's another show.
Okay. So your landfill closed.
Our landfill closed, and 6 million people in the greater Toronto area, half living in condos, townhouses without space to do outdoor composting. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have a solution. This is indoor composting with worms. It's ideal for people that live in apartments or if they don't have space. So I was like, oh my gosh, this will be so great. I'll just start a business in that. And, everybody will be coming to me because they need worms.
So all composting needs worms?
No, not all composting, but if you're doing it inside, the worms help speed up the process and keep it aerobic. And
so when I bought this house, this was 20 years ago, way in the back, there's a big plastic black drum kind of looking thing. And it says something about compost on it.
Yeah.
So, but I never knew what to do with it.
Okay, so out there you can just put your food scraps, your yard waste.
Doesn't that bring rats and stuff?
Well, not if it's done properly.
In fact, I saw this word on your website. It said vermicomposting, and I'm thinking verma is short for vermin, which is rodents. So it has nothing to do with that?
No, vermicomposting is the Latin word for worm.
Oh.
Vermin is rat with the N. Yes, that's true. Yeah, and that's a challenge. That's the thing, Tom. And if people have rats in the area, and they are, right? Rats are opportunists, so they may be attracted to your outdoor composter. So this is a solution for places where there are rats, or if you're in cottage country and there's bears, or some wildlife that you don't want to be attracting to your backyard. The raccoon, you don't want raccoons either. So this is indoor. So
all indoor. Okay. So in other words, the bear comes inside. knocks
Well,
on the
people
door.
well, people will say to me, I don't want to have rats or, mice or anything. It's like, well, if you have those in your house, that's a problem. You need to look after that. They're not going to attract them. Let's say that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's your food scraps and your paper and the worms and in a container, like a Rubbermaid toad or something. And then you just add in your food scraps from the kitchen. The worms convert the food scraps and the paper into fertilizer. So you're creating black gold. I mean, I started my business as a waste management tool, so I could stop exporting garbage to the US.
Yeah. Nice of you.
Stop the madness. I mean, so, it was really selfish. I mean, that's my tax dollars hard at work, just shipping garbage around. Right?
Yeah,
ridiculous. It's not an infinite pool, although the government treats it like it's infinite.
Now, when I was researching you a little bit and I put the word composting in, and I ran into a product on Amazon. It was something that it was a round, almost like a crock pot size thing that supposedly was a composter. Is that ridiculous, or is that too small to actually do anything?
I think it's too small to
Mhm.
do any good. I mean, it's cute and
Makes you feel like you're doing something, I guess.
it makes you feel like you're doing something. There's also electric composters that says that they'll give you compost in 24 hours. Like bull, come on. Right? I mean, it's a process. It's nature. You need the microbes. It's probably a dehydrator more than a composter where it will just take the moisture. Yeah.
Okay, now something else you're into that I got all excited about and then got totally baffled, and that is sprouting. So I bought this big jar with a lid that had a screen on it, and I bought this stand so that the jar would stay on an angle or something, and I bought some seeds, and then I was like, I have no idea what to do with this.
Yeah. Yeah. So the challenge with doing sprouting in jars is there's a limited amount of space. So if you're not mindful about how many seeds you put and then they start growing and they start jamming in there and they don't have enough oxygen, they start to rot. Or if there's moisture in there left in the bottom of the jar, which is why you have that stand, so it it
Drains
does
out.
on an angle. Yeah.
Well, how should you do it?
Well, I have a super simple sprouter, and this, I think my life is just this magic carpet ride. It's amazing the things that happen to me or for me or whatever. I was exhibiting with my worms like it's the 20th anniversary.
Exhibiting your worms, like the AKC dog contest. They have you take your worms around and show them to the judges, or what?
As I was saying that, I was thinking of them on the catwalk.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I would have a display, a table. I would be a vendor at different shows.
What kind of show would you be a vendor at? I go to gun shows and I see all kinds of stuff, but I never saw any worm displays.
No, more like eco shows, like farm shows, farmers markets, trade shows, home shows.
Have you ever done any in the United States?
I have come to there's actually a worm composting conference in North Carolina.
Wow. Yeah, they're really getting hard up for things to do. But there's a gun show in Hampton, Virginia next weekend. You should come down and try it. Really. You got a lot of people that are outdoorsy types. You never know. You see all kinds of stuff there. So
sure. Yeah.
Now, something that I've ragged on my whole life, my whole adult life, is multi-level marketing. And I understand that you have something to do with like an orgasm company or something. What's that all about? I mean, multi-level, that could go. I could go.
That could, but as you said, I was like, that's what the company should be called.
Isn't that it? Orgasmo or something?
It's Organo. It's actually coffee. It's a coffee company.
Oh, gee. Well, that lets me down there.
Yeah, it's reishi infused coffee.
Rice infused coffee.
Reishi mushroom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know all these things. No,
so many things. Yes.
So how's that going? Because I hate multi-level marketing, but
I'm not really doing the business. I really love the product. Yeah, I'm really not doing the business.
I get it. That's good.
Yeah, I just really like it. Yeah.
All right. So now tell us about the yoga laughter. You won some kind of big award for this, I believe. You're the laughter ambassador to somewhere. Is I'm not sure to what country, Nepal or something. What?
Yeah, so laughter yoga was started in India by a medical doctor, Dr. Madan Kataria, and his goal is world peace through laughter. So it's not actually doing, poses or traditional yoga. It's laughter exercises. The yoga part is the practice, the deep diaphragmatic breathing. And yeah, so there's little games to inspire the laughter. Children don't need the priming, but adults do. So there's kind of clapping and chanting, and it's ridiculous.
Do you
Um,
tell jokes?
no, there's no jokes or comedy, which is kind of nice because laughter is a universal language. But jokes can become, off color. Two people going into a bar or whatever, somebody's at the butt of that joke. Not funny for them.
Like the Barbie divorce doll, you mean?
Right?
Came, comes with everything Ken had. See, you still laugh.
That's funny. Yeah, so it's really a beautiful thing, before COVID. I mean, we have a mental health tsunami, so laughter is a beautiful thing, and laughter yoga is now we've converted like everybody online, and there's laughter clubs around the world. North America's a late adopter for stuff, so yoga's just arriving. laughter laughter yoga is still in the ocean somewhere. But yeah, before COVID, I was going into long-term care, laughing with folks with dementia, because it's not
Oh,
about,
that's nice. Yeah.
oh, so beautiful. And working, I love that you do work with persons with disabilities and special needs, because that's where my heart lies. My heart, when I heard that on your podcast, I was like, I love this guy. This is so beautiful. Again, before COVID, I was working with folks with special needs. And my name's Cathy. I'm chatty Cathy. It's my parents' fault. I can't even imagine. I really can't imagine what it's like to be nonverbal and having people tell you your whole life, do this, do that, go here. You'll like this, try this. It's like F off already.
Oh, yeah. Right. Right.
Right? No wonder behaviors and frustration. So laughter has really helped people, like parents and their children, and just different, like people work with these special needs, able to communicate better to help relieve their own frustration and their stress. And yeah, since COVID, I'm doing this wonderful project every Friday. I think it's since April or May of last year. Every Friday we meet. There's 20 or 25 of us, various, autism, Down syndrome, a whole host of special needs qualities or whatever. I don't know what you want to say. I don't want to offend anybody. But Tom, I'm really divinely guided. And I was walking in the forest one day and I got a note, a whole movie about what's coming for me.
Let me predict what it was. I'm gonna be on Screw the Commute podcast. It came from the heavens, didn't it? Yeah, I knew it.
Close. I wish I said that. It was that. And again, not to be offensive to anybody using the wrong terms, but I saw myself training. I'm a laughter yoga teacher, so I train laughter leaders, people to lead classes.
Mhm.
And I saw myself training folks with Down syndrome, like special needs, specifically Downs, to be laughter leaders so they could lead laughter in their own demographic and get paid,
Mhm.
like to have a little laughter business. How fun.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And laughter was a big turning point in my life. I mean, I've always been a jokester, but I ended up losing a big business a long time ago, and was you know, my Achilles tendon was torn. I couldn't walk, and I was living in a vacant house on a mattress. And I was surrounding myself with humor books, and that's where I got the idea to start an entertainment company that got me worldwide publicity and got me into the speaking business eventually. So yeah, I'm a big proponent. But I did mention before we got started, I did get in deep trouble one time for humor. so so I'm doing a speech, and when I first started speaking, since I had come out of entertainment, I was doing humor in the workplace, which was a big topic in the early '90s. And so this this thing is going great. Everybody's having a great time. I'm talking about all the kinds of things you can do to stay upbeat while you're at work and everything. And so I walked over to this lady and I said, "Wouldn't it be great to have pictures of your grandchildren all over your cubicle and everything?" And she looked at me with daggers in her eyes, and and everything went to a halt where it's been laughing like crazy, and I was like, "Oh my god!" So I got finished, and then I went over to the meeting planner. I said, "Well," in my mind, I'm thinking, "Oh my god, the kids got hurt with or died in a car crash or something." You're still there, right?
Still here, yep.
Okay, yeah. So you redlined on this on the screen here. I thought, oh, she died. Oh no.
No.
So so anyway, we got done, and I went over to the meeting planner, and I said, "Hey, what happened when I talked to that lady? I mean, did her kids, grandchildren die or something?" She said, "No, she's only 35."
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I know, man.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
It wasn't at the time. I'll tell you. I'm sure she's still mad about it. But but it kind of reminds me of this famous guy, Dave Barry, the writer, that said about pregnant females. He says, "You never say a thing about it unless you actually see the baby coming out."
Or they mention it first.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh.
But it does bring up a point. In those days, you get away with murder. Today, you got to be extremely careful, with your humor because people get offended so easily. I was doing a speech one time. I got a load of money. People were swinging from the chandeliers, and one person was from Nigeria. I had made a joke that was about water, and he says, "Water is not funny in our country." And he started complaining to everybody.
Oh my gosh,
what am I
water
gonna
even.
do? So you just have to be careful, but you can't. Somebody's gonna get mad at you one way or the other. So I couldn't sacrifice 300 people for one person. So, and I didn't know it till it was over with. So who laughs about water or who gets mad about water jokes? Maybe Michigan people. Because of all this trouble they've had with water. But so what's a typical day look like for you?
Oh, a typical day. Well, I play with my worms for a little bit.
You train them and stuff? Do they, take them for walks and stuff?
I used to play meditative music, and then I was like, oh, they don't like vibration. I bet they hate this. Like mood music, so they would breathe more. But no, I was like, no, they probably hate this.
You could try different types. You can put some rap or something.
And then I'll put some sprouts in and rinse my sprouts, and
every day.
Every day.
You make sprouts every day. And I can't even do it once.
I eat sprouts every day for sure. Let me tell you about how I met the guy with the sprouter.
Okay.
So yeah, it was my very first event that I was exhibiting in 2002 with my worms. I had a table, with all my worm stuff.
I still see. I can picture. Some of the people at the gun show sell like chocolate and stuff, and they give you samples. I'm just trying to think how that would work with you.
And there was a man there selling this sprout grower that looks like a spaceship. It's about the size of a dinner plate, plastic. It's got a steel mesh, and it was flying off the shelf. I mean,
but how tall was
it? It's like a little dome, so it's like a little hydroponic greenhouse.
I thought you said that you couldn't do very well with something that little.
No, with the jar. So the jar, the jar that has the small mouth, and this is the size of a dish, like a dinner plate.
But I asked you about this is sprouting?
This is the sprouting.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was thinking of the composting. Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yep. Yeah. No, new topic.
Okay.
Yeah. So this man was selling the sprouter, and he was 72, ballroom dancer, and I was like, "What is that thing?" And he told me it was a sprouter, and how to do it and what it was for, and I had never sprouted. Anyway, so I said, oh, okay. So sprouts are hydrating, alkalizing, regenerative, biogenic, and contain up to 100 times more digestive enzymes.
Wow.
So super healthy. They're really good for us. And so this guy was 72, professional ballroom dancer. And I was like, 72, still doing these shows. He looked vibrant, healthy. And I don't need to know why something works. I'm just like, oh, look at you. You look really healthy. I want to have your, you know, whatever you call it, like your strength or
Your
whatever
vim
at
and
72.
vigor. Yeah.
Your vim and vigor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm
Or
in. So
your
he's
vermian vigor.
And so I said, okay, I'm in. So he said, if you're going to do this, start your day with 2 tablespoons of the sprouted mung beans every day for the enzymes. So I did for 10 years. And I would see him every morning for 10 years. And then I would see him at shows and say, oh, you should get one of those. It's really great. And finally in 2012, he said to me, you should sell this with your, with your worm business. And I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? That's a great idea. And yeah, 2012, I started selling it. So I've been selling it now for 10 years.
So it's a sprouter.
Yeah.
And now, can you dip sprouts in blue cheese dressing? Or how do you? That's what I'm thinking.
Of course you
How
can.
would you eat these things?
Well, the mung beans are, the bean sprouts from Chinese food, the white beans, the white long, they're kind of long.
I don't know. I probably shoved them in my face, but I didn't.
They
I
kind of
didn't
look like
notice.
noodles. They kind
Okay.
of look like noodles.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those are beans. Those are mung beans. Those are the ones that we grow, that we eat every day. And they'll germinate in about 24 to 48 hours. So they're really fast, super fast.
So, and this gave you your vim and vigor, but you got like 50 years to go yet to be 72. So,
Oh, wow. I'm 59, so I'm getting close. Yeah. But Tom, I'm 59, high energy, have no health issues, no prescription drugs, no multivitamin. Like I consider these mung beans my multivitamin. And people say to me, don't you get sick of the mung beans? It's like, would you get sick of feeling great and having tons of energy? I mean, maybe.
yeah, I
People love
guess you could, but
people love their story.
now I haven't had any mung beans that I know of
Okay.
lately, but I'm going to be 67 and I'm not on anything either.
Woo, woo, woo.
I got
Yay.
lucky. So if I'd have
Hallelujah.
taken sprouts all these times, heck, I could join that Orgasmo company. You know, MLM. Yeah. Go up to somebody in a bar. It's yeah, I'm in the MLM Orgasmo company. Um, so, so what's the best part and worst part about being in the worm business?
The best part is the feel good factor. Like, I mean, what I'm doing is such a beautiful thing. A pound of worms and their descendants can transform a ton of organic waste in a year. So if everybody, and the average Canadian/American family produces a ton of organic waste in a year. So if every family had a pound of worms, imagine the impact that would have on that reduced amount of garbage going to landfill, and then converting that kind of garbage into black gold for, like, it's nutrient rich soil. So we're not only just reducing landfill space, or making more space in the landfill by reducing the garbage, but we're actually fixing the soil. The worms are amending the soil, with all our monocropping, and the soil is deplete. So we have
Right.
to
Yeah.
keep, right? We got to keep adding
Well,
chemicals.
how do you grow these worms? I wanted to get like a couple chickens, and I figured I couldn't handle it. How do you do thousands of worms?
So it's really just creating the right environment, just the right carbon, nitrogen. They are living creatures, so
There are
they do
different
require.
breeds, like dogs.
Absolutely. There's thousands of types of worms, 4 that have been identified for vermicomposting.
What now? If do they crossbreed and then get weird, like dogs that their faces are smashed in that can hardly breathe?
No, they don't actually breed. They can they can live together, but they don't mess around.
I bet you they cuddle. So how do you? I mean, so can people grow their own, or is it just
Absolutely.
hard? It's just better to buy the pound. I don't know. Can you
Well,
go in the,
once you get worms, yeah, they reproduce more than rabbits.
so you only need to buy a pound and then you're done, or what?
Pretty much, as long as you look after them, they are living creatures.
I keep thinking you gotta keep them warm, take them to the vet, get their shots, get the the microchips on so nobody steals them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, you have to have right? It's aerobic process, meaning with oxygen. So you need to have holes in the bin that you have. You have to make sure you remember to feed them because they eat half their weight per day. So they're eating quite a bit.
Jeez.
They're 90% moisture, so you have to have a moist environment. Yeah, so they do need some care, but yeah, it's a
How
beautiful
many
thing.
worms are in a pound?
800 to 1,000 worms in a pound. So they're really not they're not ideal for fishing
All right,
because
so
they're
how many
small.
worms do you own currently?
Oh my gosh, they don't come out for head count. So I would say,
Well, how
hazard
many
a guess and
pounds?
say how many pounds? I would have 50 to 100 pounds of worms at any time.
That's a lot of worms. Oh man, what if they called animal control on you and that she's a hoarder? It's like the crazy worm lady instead of crazy cat lady. Do you have to have any permits or anything to hold that many worms?
Don't ask. I don't know. Don't ask, don't
Oh,
tell,
that's
right?
right, right. And what if they got loose? you sometimes.
Actually, Tom, when I started my business, I was so naive. Somebody said, you should go to the town and see if you can run that business from your house. So I did. And the town planner wasn't in that day. So I just left a note, left a message for them to call me. The next day that he called me and he said, oh, you can't run that business from your house. And I was like, oh, why not? And there was this really limited list of
Right.
businesses you could, it was ridiculous, a bylaw written in the 70s. So I was like, so can you can you breed cats and dogs? And he said, yes, as long as nobody complains. So I said, have you ever heard of vermicomposting? Like, I can't believe I came up with that question. And the guy said, no. He was like, no. And so in my mind, I'm like, so how would you know if I did it?
Yeah, right.
And I went ahead. I was like, well, he won't even know. How will they know?
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't take a lot of space, right?
It does not. No,
I mean, do
no.
you do it in your house or do you have an outside shed or something? Or?
Yeah, I have space now outside, but you can absolutely do quite a bit in your house.
But it gets cold up there, so they have to stay in a certain temperature range?
It needs to be climate controlled for sure. Yes.
What temperature do they thrive in?
60 to 80 is optimum. Like, it's really
That's
room temperature.
Fahrenheit, yeah.
Fahrenheit, yes.
60 to
Right,
80.
I'm bilingual. It was so funny. I started to do school workshops, and at the beginning, I'd say 16 to 28 Celsius, and I would say 60 to 80, and I see the kids like, who keeps what? They're burning up, right? 16 to
Right.
28 is the Celsius. I'm like, and it was one day, like 3 years in, when a teacher said that's Celsius, right? And I was like, oh my, or Fahrenheit. And I was like, oh my gosh, all those years I messed up all those kids.
Yeah. Well, in the United States, we always say, well, you should have the courtesy to put things in Fahrenheit. Did you ever hear of the comedian Kathleen Madigan?
Yes.
I love her. She was talking about Canada. She said she was doing a tour up in Canada, and she said Canada is kind of like the attic to the United States. You forget it's up there, but there's a lot of cool things up there.
Well, that's pretty good. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Better than the pit, I guess.
So you're selling these composters. Excuse me, you sell composters or just the worms?
Oh, I have a super cute system. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
it's called the Living Composter, and it actually is a functional piece of furniture. It's a
You can
stool.
ship them to the US?
Yeah, I can. I
Okay.
can't ship the worms, or I don't ship the worms. You have lots of red wiggler growers up there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
But
knew
yeah,
that. I knew that. I knew that.
yeah, I can ship the composter is super cute though. It comes in 4 colors, and it's a stool. So, it doesn't take up extra space if somebody has a small, like, think of a New York little apartment or something, right? Pretty small. Yeah.
Okay. And then where would they go to get some red wigglers. The Gentleman's Club, or where do you find red? Where do you go to find red wigglers?
Oh, just put in your search engine, Red Wiggler suppliers.
Near me, red wigglers.
Near Red Wigglers near me.
And they say, go out your backyard, dummy. Can you find any of these just in the soil?
They're not soil dwellers, but you can find them in manure piles or rotting stuff.
Yeah, I look through those all the time. Yeah.
If somebody wanted to go rooting around, you could find them. I did get my first worms in my outdoor composter, so they are kind of out there.
Okay, so to get started though, to come up with a pound on your own would be pretty hard, then, right?
Correct. Yes.
So it's better to find somebody crazy like you down here, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I would say.
Crazy worm lady. So that's composting, and you called it vermicomposting, right?
Vermicomposting.
Okay. And then for the sprouting, what do you have for sprouters besides this sprout machine this guy has?
Yeah, I have the spaceship, and then I have a whole whack of certified organics beans and seeds.
Are you able to
because you can sprout everything. Yeah, we can ship all of that. Yeah.
And what about tell us about the yoga certification. Do people come to you to do that, or can you do it remotely?
Yeah, we're doing it online right now. I have a free club on Tuesdays, 9:30 in the morning Eastern. Yeah, it's on Zoom and it's beautiful 30-minute self-care. I've got maybe 20 or 25 people that come from around the world
And this is for their certification or just to participate?
Oh, that's for my laughter club. I have a training coming up. Yeah, if people wanted to be trained as laughter leaders.
But that has to be in person?
No, it's online.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so people can come from wherever. That's February, the beginning of February, but we're doing that quarterly, so they can look at my website for that.
Okay, so how do people find you?
I'm going to give you my worm website. All my
Again,
offerings
never
are
been
there.
said on this show before.
It's Cathy'sComposters.com.
Cathy'sComposters.com. And does that lead to all the other stuff?
Everything is there, yes.
Okay, well, boy, this has been a pretty wild show. I don't see this every day. But yeah, I'm very interested in the sprouting, especially because I only got 5 years till I'm 72. So I want to get it with the mung beans on my side. So
you look great, Tom. What is your secret? What are you doing then?
I just got good genes from my dad, basically. And then one thing that a lot of people don't understand is if you keep overweight, it smooths out your wrinkles. So you don't have to worry about getting all wrinkly.
You made me choke. I knew there had to be perks.
Well, absolutely, yeah. So when people say, "Oh, I'll lose some weight," no, but when they do ask me about how much weight I want to lose, I tell them I just want to get down to a B cup. That's all. So.
Oh my gosh, Tom, you should go on the road.
No, I've been on the road. I'm happy to sit home. I haven't been on an airplane in 2 years. You get on an airplane now, you're guaranteed somebody's going to start fighting you, and they'll drag you off, and the FBI will take you away, and you'll never be seen. That's all I see on TV every day at the airports nowadays, because all the flights are being canceled. Everybody's on edge. Oh, it's really tough. They need some laughter. They need you in the lobbies of airports. There you go. There's a whole new world for it. Kathy's Airport Laughter.
Yeah, right. I know that's why this laughter really fits everywhere. It's, the children are struggling now in Canada. Our schools are closed again.
Yeah,
it's
I saw
just
that.
like, oh my gosh, come on. Like nobody's talking about this mental health part. That's, I don't know.
I don't think it's going to affect us because we've been laughing for a long time and a lot more to come.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much, Cathy, for coming on.
Tom, I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
All right, everybody, go to Cathy's with a C, by the way, CATHYS, composters.com, and that'll lead you to all the cool stuff she has. And this has been a a crazy, wonderful episode of how you can make money doing things you love and doing good for the world. So catch y'all in the next episode. See you later.